Hello, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, is it, okay. Holy moly. Hi, it's Amuletta, and it's time for my weekly update, and I'm going to try to get through this as fast as I can because the tech keeps crashing. It's actually been one of those type of weeks, so more unscripted stuff. I'll try to keep my thoughts straight. A lot of stuff I was able to work on is kind of more getting systems set up and cleanup type stuff, but I'll show what I did get. To start with, I should have the shield system more or less set for my 3 characters so far. You'll notice that for Mario, I still need to get a growing up sprite, but his what is it? The hitbox for him. Sorry, I'm so tired, and this is like my 17th take. The hitbox for his big form is not adjusted so that he can still squeeze through stuff. It's just kind of a visual effect, kind of like having a force field around him. And once he takes so many hits, you shrink, you turn back into regular Mario, you die. Kind of seen that before, but just kind of getting it all in one place for posterity's sake, especially since when, as a counterpoint to Luigi, who shrinks, and his hitbox does change. So he's easier to like dodge attacks and get around things. The flip side is that he can only take, shoot me again please, he can only take 2 hits before he turns back to normal, but you know, you're smaller and easier to get around. And the 3rd hit, hey, looky there, a custom death sprite for Luigi. So yeah, I still have to get into the game over box, but that's a whole nother can of worms. Birdo gets Phanto around her, which can take a few hits. If you are able to get a second mushroom, which I will show here in a moment, you have double Phanto, but I do want to show. I may not have him like go that small, but hey, there's a Birdo Death Sprite, and it just crashed because yeah, the Phanto object kind of doesn't like when Birdo's not there, so it's still working out some kinks. Obviously won't have another update this week either, unfortunately. I'm doing too many things at once. I like started like 8 different things, think I'd have time to do them, and it just has not turned out that way. I do apologize, but I'm trying to get there. But yeah, if you somehow manage to get 2 shield power-ups, then you'll have double, triple, quadruple Phantos. Yippee. Oh yeah, that was the other thing I wanted to show off. I can show that off in the, give me a moment, I'm going to switch over to the regular levels. So give me 2 seconds to switch over to that. There is one update I made. So, and game should start. I just have it muted. Hopefully it's not picking up the audio. Yeah, okay, it doesn't look like it's picking up the audio for the game. It is still playing the music, but I have it muted because I'm getting tired of hearing the song over and over again. I'm sure you understand. But, one thing I do have going on is I've decided to go ahead and make it so, since I only have 3 types of power-ups. A bomb type, which in this case is the fireball, a laser type, which is the hammer, and a shield type, which is the mushroom. I decided I may as well let you have all of them at once, because half the fun of Gradius is when you get fully powered up and you have, you know, all kinds of crazy stuff flying all over the screen. So now you'll have your power weapon, your firing down weapon, and then you can have your shield all at the same time. I did update this level to have the mushroom in it here instead of the boomerang. Boomerang I'm just gonna put on the side, for now until I get someone who can actually use it. But there is that. Didn't realize that was an issue. Okay. So, did not realize that the shield disappears, but I actually just paused by hitting the escape key on the keypad, which I have no idea why it took me so long to put it in there. I just kind of kept catching myself pressing escape to try to pause, because that's what you do in every other game on the planet. And I realized, like, okay, I can just add that. So, there is that. Some of the stuff I've done is behind the scenes, like making whether or not you have a power-up a global variable, so they'll carry over between worlds, but that also means I have to say, like, oh, if you go back to the main menu, you take that away, so you're not, you know, going to the next level, starting off all the big power-ups and stuff. Um, haven't really gotten too much like world building set up yet, and this is actually an older mushroom object that you can see the hitbox are still a little actually affected here, so still working on getting the stage set up. You may have also noticed, oops, yeah, and see there's another thing I have to go fix there. The bullets, I don't know how well it'll show, but the bullets are a different color here. I will jump over to Aspite to show that. We'll get to that in a second. There we go. So I am working on trying out different colors for the bullets because of that cave background issue, instead of the black ones. Part of the problem is that they're just so small, and the NES palette only has so many colors, so not super happy with either of those, but working on it. And yeah, we've got death sprites for Birdo and Luigi. There's Luigi's death sprite so you can get a good look at it. It's just, recolored Mario. Birdo, again, being custom. There's her. I'm playing around with her sprite a little bit. I'm gonna post this in DeviantArt later. So feedback again, please, please, please. But, up here's the sprite I've been using, and I realize a lot of her artwork has her with the, eyeshadow. So, I might go with that. I'm not sure. I'm on the fence about which one I would rather go with. Especially since, the sprite's expression is way better on the top one here. This one, for some reason, gives me Garfield vibes. Do with that what you will. I don't know, it's just the half-lit eyes. But yeah, more custom sprites. Yippee. Something else, this will be one of Birdo's weapons, where she will shoot out the bird mask in front of her and it'll, expand, kind of like a ripple laser. You'll also have her throwing vegetables, which will, they'll all do the same thing. They'll just kind of be, thrown down, but they'll randomly decide which one you're doing. So, I mean, these are things I've already had, worked on a few weeks, so I just never bothered mentioning because I was waiting until I actually got them in. But, things have been nuts. Nothing else in there. You can see, a bunch of other stuff I'm, trying to... I was looking to see if there's, any bigger sprites than Mario playing, but I was already using him big as the base, so... Gonna have to make a custom sprite for that. Let's see. Very little... A little bit of room updating the... This is showing up, right? Yeah. It's kind of off my face, but whatever. A little bit of rooms, working on getting the pyramid set up a little bit more, just a few more blocks, but slow progress. What else? Death sprites, fields, blueprint. I guess that's everything. I have a list here next to me. There are other things I was trying to work on. I was actually trying to get the sprites for the game over screen, but haven't gotten those working yet. Yeah. And again, just it's all very piecemeal. I'm kind of trying to work on getting the multiple character things working properly, which is coming along, but it's taking some time. Overhauling a lot of behind the scenes stuff so that I can do. Hopefully, I can just plug and play with the characters and say, oh, this is the type of... I might actually be able to show a little bit here. Let's see. Forgive my mess. Yeah, I know I said, I cleaned up, and this is after I've, already cleaned up a bit, but I'm just working on it. Okay, but yeah, if we come down here to, the variables in Mario, I actually add these bomb type, laser type, shield type, so what'll happen is, the code will say, instead of saying, oh, when Mario fires while he has a fire pop, while he has the bomb, create fireballs, make it so that it'll create whatever is bomb type, and then that way I can kind of just plug what I want the character to make here. So if I jump, let's say, actually bomb type works. If I jump to bomb type with Luigi, bomb type is an object Koopa shell. So that just says he makes a Koopa shell, and that's the only bit of information I need to change instead of having to go into this step event where it's got all the... It's better if I show you the Mario one. But the step event where I've got all the code saying, oh, if you're holding down the shoot button, then make this happen. You can see, I've commented out some of my old code because I'm still in the process of, transferring stuff over. Again, just a lot of behind the scenes kind of, work on stuff. But, yeah, it's progress. It's just not flashy progress, but that's, every game dev kind of has to get to that point. Every project has to get to that point. I'm sure there's like artists out there who are like, yeah, I'm working on this ping, but I spent 2 hours like shading someone's armpit. So, anyways, okay, so that's everything I need to show off for this week. I'm very tired, and it doesn't help that stuff keeps crashing. Oh god, it's been a week. Hopefully you all have a good week, and I will see you all again soon. And I'll go post the Burrow spread to DeviantArt so people can kind of like look at and comment and whatnot. Um, Other than that, I hope you have a good week. Thank you for watching. Feedback and constructive criticism are always appreciated. I'm trying to remember what I said at the end of these things. And have a great week. Take care.